Hey guys, what is up? What is up? How are you guys doing? What is up? Is the live started? Let me just check. I think it should just start in a minute. How are you guys doing? It's been a long, long time since we have been here, since I have gone live with anyone. I know that it has been such a big break that we have taken us. How are you guys? How are you guys? How are you guys doing? And today we are coming up with a special topic about how a fresher designer kind of get converted into a full-time designer and how that process goes and a lot of other things around it. Prerna, who is the guest today, who's gonna come up and tell you guys a lot good things about it. Uh, do keep your questions in the chat. She's gonna cover it at the end of her session. And yep, hope you guys like it. So let's start with the session, guys. Uh, Today we have Prerna with us. She's a product designer at Growthschool. She's a great friend of me, and she is going to present you guys today with the session. Hey Prerna, I'm just going to show you on the stream. Hey Prerna, how are you?
Hi, folks. How are you doing?
Super
I would like
awesome.
to thank you, Abhay, for calling me for the podcast today.
Super awesome. Prerna, so just let's just started with a little bit of your introduction, and then it's up to you. It's stage is yours.
Okay, so I would first tell you about my experience about how I got interested into design. So I come from engineering background, and I was in a state government college. In my second year of engineering, I joined a college club, and then I started designing posters, and I also did some other stuff like marketing and management. And then I got more interested into posters and stuff because I got a good response from the crowd and a lot of good work from my seniors as well. So then I thought of like becoming a bit serious about design. So pandemic happened and we are all at our homes. Everyone was experimenting it, like in third years companies would come for placements, but at that time I was more interested and like wanted to explore more about design. I talked to some of my seniors, took their help, and then I started reading some of the medium blogs and stuff. That's how I started developing the understanding about what design is first. Then I put out some basic case studies. Then I realized when I gave this case studies to my seniors for a review that there was a lot of scope of improvement on the visual side of design. Then I thought of like how to improve it. Then I approached a mentor, got his help, and I built a portfolio. I took around 6 months to properly polish all of my skills and learn whatever I can, because obviously I had a lot of time and I was not sitting for placements anyway. And that's how I like completed this case study, and then the journey began. And then I started applying to many companies which I shortlisted. So, Abhay, do you have any questions? Then I'll proceed forward.
Nope, you guys, you can go ahead.
Okay, I'll just present my case study here. Sorry, presentation here. Yep. So here's the team of Growth School, and I will just tell you my experience and learnings of how I got into this very fun company. Um, so what I did is after finishing my case study, I started applying to the shortlisted companies, and I used to cold email many companies or people around 15, 20, or maybe 25 emails daily. And like trust me, that works. It will hit the right spot. Or you also have to connect with different people on LinkedIn that you admire, or you could either learn something from them. You can like review your get a review of your work from them, or you can like talk about that you need an internship. You'll get help from someone at some point of time. So that's how I applied. And I remember my first interview was with an academy. I was at that time I was good at the craft, and I knew how to do it right. My assignment got selected there, but unfortunately, after some two rounds of interview, I didn't proceed forward. So then I started working more on my interview skills, like how to present myself in the interview, what I'm doing wrong, and I would say ki it was a very good feedback that I received from an academy. Then I applied to more companies, and then I uh, got like a reply back from Growthschool. Then I had two rounds of interview here. First was just introductory round, and I just told Siddharth, my manager, my experience about what all the things I did, how I learned the skills, and to be honest, I didn't join any cohort. Um, but yeah, it worked out well for me. Then in the second round of interview, we had a bit of technical round there, and I walked him through all my the process of my case study, and what can be what I did there. And that's how it went. I just have to explain my design decisions, and there was a bit of debate on some points. He asked why you have done a particular thing and why not this thing, how is this making sense. So you just need to know your project in and out properly. Yep, that's about my experience of internship and how I got this. Abhay?
Yep, super awesome. Currently, we don't have any questions. If we do, I will let you know. Yep.
Sorry, I lost you there.
Yep. I'm saying currently we don't have any questions, but if we do, I will let you know. You can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I'll go ahead then. So now I'll proceed with UX versus UI versus product design. So I have seen many freshers struggling with these terms. Key, what is the difference between them? What we need to learn? So I would say all these things are very interrelated, and you don't have to classify them very differently, but there is very minor differences here. So UX is about the user experience that you are going to create, and what it actually is the thought behind how you are going to structure a particular idea or a particular thing, and at what points in the interface you are going to trigger that thing. I will give you example for this. UI is basically the layout, typography, spacing, colors, all those sorts of things that you do after research and proper deciding the user experience in your mind. Then we have product design. So the work of a product designer is to get involved in all the phases of design. So the product designer thinks more from the business point of view, from the start, from research to doing wireframes or creating an experience, then doing visuals, doing iterations, and then shipping the end product, coordinating with developer and product teams. I'll give you one example here. So you can see this is the referral from a company called Morning Brew. You might have seen different kind of referrals. So their strategy is a bit different. Um, so they when you finish the particular count of the referrals that you have given, then they give you some of the goodies or some of the things from their company, their side, to boost their engagement more. So this is their referral strategy. So all the thought that is going behind putting this kind of referral here is the user experience, and at what point like where it is placed in the screen is the user experience. Now you come to the colors, the layout, the grays used, the typography used, the spacing used between the things. This is all the work of a UI designer. While coming to the side of a product designer, he might have gotten involved more in the process, like for a referral to go live, there is a there are a lot of layers. So first there might be discussion from the business team, from the product team, from the initiatives team. So all these things, or the revenue team, because we are building referrals, we need to get exactly how we can like make it live with our revenues in mind. So yeah, so product designer might be involved in all these processes while designing this referral piece. While you have seen GPay has a different kind of referral strategy. So there can be different kind of referral strategies depending upon what the whole company or team agrees on. So this is the main difference between a UI UX and a product designer. Now let's come to some bigger companies. They have a fixed set of fixed roles there. If you are a UX designer, you are doing UX. If you are a designer, you are completely focused on UI. But for product designer, the case is a bit different. You have to get involved in all the processes at all the point of times. Your presence is very very important. Also, UX designer and a product designer are the terms that can be used very interchangeably according to organizations also. So you might be a UX designer, but your company might involve you in these processes. So it could be subjective also. But basically, this separation comes when you work in bigger organizations which already have a set of different roles decided for different people. Now, okay, I'll show you another example here. So this is one of the card from my case study that I have designed. Now you are just looking at the card, but it took a whole lot of thought process and research to come to this card. Now let's see this data points. What is this? This is the name of that organization. Now this is the place, how far it is. Then we have this close food others tag here. So what is all this? You might not get the context of this in the first glance. Um, but I'll walk you through a bit. So, this was the case study that I presented for my internship. So, this is an app about connecting charities and donors, and putting some kind of connection, or like bridging their gap, so that the hungry people could get the food, and the people who waste the food like utilize it somewhere properly. So this was the whole idea, and I validated my design assumption with a bit of research. And it was not a lot of research. I just have to define, just have to validate my problem statement, that my idea is solving some sort of problem that is there. And I just took some of the statistics from internet. And yep, you can do all kinds of research. There is like primary research and there is secondary research. Now going through the internet is the secondary kind of research. So if you think the secondary is strong enough, then it's fine if you haven't worked a lot on the primary. But I would suggest you to do the primary research, like user interviews or user surveys, which will give you more apt idea of about your problem statement and what you're going to do later in the process. Yep. So this is the whole idea behind that. And for that card, we had a problem statement. Uh, yep. So the problem statement for the card is how might be help people, help users get like proper charities to donate to. So this was the problem statement. And then I had the data points around it. Then what the data points are important and why they are important. So the categorization is important because as a user, you would have particular things to donate. For me, currently it is like food. I would be able to donate food. I won't have clothes currently, so I would actually search for some charities where I can donate food. Then the thing is, people look for how many people that charity serves a day, what is the count. And we have important information here, like basic description of what that charity does. Because as humans, we are more empathetic towards what is the cause and where we would like to contribute to. So this is the whole idea behind that card. Now whatever I have told you, till now is the UX of this thing. Like, how are we going to solve this problem statement, and what are the data points that we are considering? If we look at the UI of things, now we have this small logo here, we have colors here, we have typography, spacing, layout, and everything around it. So this is what the work of a UI designer is. But as a product designer, I was involved in the process from end till the last. So this is the basic difference. But as a product designer, you can assume you have to do everything and just try to get strong in some of these areas. Okay, now Abhay, do you have any questions or should I proceed?
Yep, one question is I received on Discord. Is that what kind of data points did you choose, and how did you validated those data points?
Okay. I validated those data points through the secondary research only, and I choose this data points from the process. You can see, sorry, this is the wrong one. Yep. So there were user interviews that I have done, and I tried to identify the groups that people are going to fall into, and then there is this user flow. So from this user flow, I came towards the data points wala part, and I also did a lot of research, like this competitive research around it, how the cards are designed, how people look at data points, and I can also give you a look through all the iterations. Um, so that is how, yeah, that is how I finalized on the data points. I can give you a look at all the iteration. Just a minute. Yep. So this is the problem statement that we are trying to solve here. How might we help users to choose from different charities and help them in decision making? So first I defined the problem, and then I went on internet for the secondary research. Like I read a research report. I don't remember the source, but it says that we empathize as humans more about the cause. Like, I don't know, I'm like more towards donating to children or old age. There can be different assumptions of people like this, that we empathize more with this thing and we will donate here. So that's why I decided on that data point. And then we have number of charities, sorry, number of people that charity donates to. If there is more number of people that charity is trying to donate to, I would go for that, because I know that is helping a bigger number of people. Or it can be the other way around as well, ki this charity does not have a lot of people to donate to. Maybe if we give more, they would donate more. So there are both kind of perception here. So that's how I decided on the data points, and these are some of the iterations of that card here. So this is how I started. Like, you can see the visuals, it's not very great, right? Even the size of the icon, it's like my eyes my eyes will hurt now if I try to zoom in and see them. So it's the process, you have to keep iterating on it. Then I decided on the next card where we have more information, and like number of people it feeds daily, and what need it fulfills. But people, when these cards are going to be in a sequence, people are just going to take a glance, they are not going to read every stuff that you have written here. So they will just look for their need, and the same goes with this iterations. There is no thing to write the goal as goal or like different section. You just have to like properly create a card in a way that people are going to scan it and they would get the right information from it. Basically your goal is to make them select the right thing according to their need. So that's how I came to this iterations. You can see this iteration where you have save and share options at the bottom. When you have all these cards in a row in a vertical manner, then there are a high chance that you are going to tap on it accidentally, and also it doesn't make sense there. You can also keep save and share later in the details page also. So then I finalized this card where it gives a proper information in a scannable manner, where you can see the name, the location, what you need, what you can donate here, what is the goal, and how many people it serves. Maybe after more iterations we can come to a better solution. That can be the case, but yep, that's how I finalized on this card.
Awesome. Anybody who wants to ask questions, they can ask in the chat itself. We'll get them answered. Prerna, you can go ahead. Yeah,
Sorry, I lost you there.
you can go ahead, Prerna.
Okay. So there are do's and don'ts of design world now. That there is no fixed set of rules here, but I'm just going to tell you some of the mistakes that I did, and I saw people doing it, and I still see people doing it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell you. Let's first go to the don'ts. So I myself did this thing. I used to think about, like, I will do this 3 4 case studies, and then I'll gonna apply to this place. I've seen people like running over the quantity of different case studies, but that is really not needed. Even the one case study that has all the quality in it, all the thought process, all the iterations, all the decision, you literally don't need to think about the quantity of this. Because as a hiring manager, I anyway don't have time to go through all of your shit, and I just need one of your good case study which aligns with my idea of that. Like, you can also take it in this way, like you are applying for a e-commerce company, then you can be more focused toward building something more aligned with that e-commerce company, or the idea of e-commerce, or the process of e-commerce. It could be anything related to that. That's how you can pitch this ideas to a hiring manager. So think from their perspective. Don't try to think from your perspective. Okay, I will do n number of case studies or projects, and that are going to impress someone. No one, like, no one cares about it. Then we have a fake research thing. I have seen a lot and lots of fake research. If you have done something, you have received value out of it, and you applied that in your project or in your process anywhere, then feel free to put it. But if you have not, then please don't fake it. Don't, like, fake the user flow, or your research, like the interviews or the survey thing. And I have also seen a lot of wireframes, unnecessary wireframes in beginners case studies. So please don't do all of that stuff until you have really gone through the process and you actually found value out of it. Even if you have done a process and, like, there is no value in that, like, you have created the wireframes, but I don't see the value in that. I don't see the, even when we iterate our ideas or problem statements, then we use paper, then we use wireframes. You could have done wireframes, that but that part is for idea sketching, right? Like, I don't find value in proper wireframes then converting it to a visual screen. It just took your time. And when you work in a company, the company will assume that you have just taken company's time. So company's time is valuable. So, like, don't fake any of this thing. Okay. Then don't try to find fancy ways of putting it online. So I've seen people, like, they've created case study, then they'll be going to develop a page by themselves, learning all the development, HTML and CSS and shit. It is good to learn skills, very good to learn skills. But when you are in a bit of hurry to get a job, then you can skip this part. Okay. Just to put all of your case studies is one place. For example, I have never created a website or something. I have my Medium profile. Medium is very easy, like you can just put your articles in them, or and just like share the link. Very easy way, very easy way. Why you want to make it fancy when the other person does not even have the time to look at it properly? So these are the things that you should definitely not do and will backfire on you. And then we have what you should do. So when you are doing a case study, it is true that a recruiter is going to look at some of the things. One of that thing is your visuals. If your visuals are not good, they are going to close your page in like seconds. It's like there is no point, they will go through it completely. Even if your UX is very strong, your thought process is very strong, but if your visuals not are not on point, then you have to work hard and take feedback from people. Take feedback from people who are working in the industry, and from some senior people um, who are at very good positions in design. That's from where you have to take the feedback. Then explain your design decision. Once you have cracked all of this visual wala part, then you can come to your design decisions and thought process. Whatever you think, whatever you have done, just try to put that, not no, nothing more, nothing less. No one has time to go through all of that shit. So just proper things that you have thought of, and why you have changed your decisions. Now about iterations also, just don't keep iterating random stuff, and just don't find reasons to reject one. Reject one when you have a valid reason. Don't reject the iterations to just show कि I have rejected this iteration because of this fake reason. Then comes the interview thing. So once you have properly structured your project, and you are confident about it, then start applying for interviews. And for that you have to be very very patient. You are not going to get an interview in like just minutes. And what I did, I applied to like 15 to 20 companies daily. So even I have asked this from an experienced designer, and it's the same way around. It's the same way around. So you just have to be very patient and just keep giving interviews, keep giving interviews, keep taking feedback. That's how your work is going to improve. If you get rejected in one of the interview, ask them like, so where do you think I lagged, and what do you think is not working? It can be very subjective. Suppose they are looking for a very strong research skill, you have a very strong visual design skill, so that is also one of the case. That is subjective to company, but at least you will know the reason ki why they have rejected me, so that you can improve it for later. When I interviewed at some of the places, I received very good feedbacks, very descriptive feedbacks, and take it as constructive criticism. If you just sit there holding your work and saying, no, it's the best work in the world, like, okay, but you have to improve on that. Whatever feedback you receive from good people, good companies, take it and work on it. There is no other way around. And design is not at all easy, guys. You have to just keep doing it repetitively. When you are a fresher, you don't know a lot of things going inside a company. As a fresher, I didn't know ki what are the things going on, how the decisions are being taken, and what they actually think. But the thing is, literally, no one has time there. So, if you receive some feedback from someone, take it and work on it, and find a very good mentor for yourself. The best way I would say to go about it is find people on LinkedIn that you admire and follow and want to be like them, and you admire their work, and maybe different reasons for that. But yep, take feedbacks and follow a different approach for interviews. So what happened? You have seen my case study, right? It is very very long. It's very long. No one has the time to go through all of it. So when you are sitting in an interview, just filter out your problem statements and the parts from your work. For example, I have filtered out the iterations of one main card. some iterations of the user flow. These are two, three main things in the presentation, so that they would be able to finish it fast, and they would be able to understand your thought process as well. And they would also think that you have put some extra effort in their case study, sorry, in the interview. So that's how you have to put in all of your efforts when you are interviewing. So the process of interview is a bit different from the process when you are applying. You will get the hang of it when you have done two three interviews. It is fine if you get rejected in first two or three interviews, but try not to. And I will also suggest you some of the resources for improving all of these skills of yours. Basically, these are the resources which I learned from. Abhay, you have any questions, or should I proceed next?
Yeah, we have one question. Okay. So
Okay.
it's a big one. So the question is from Mr. Singh. He's asking, he's telling his situation. He's asking something. So his situation is he's a self-taught UI UX designer. He
Okay.
started working in a company as an intern, okay,
Okay.
for 4 months, and after that, in July this year,
Hmm.
he got converted to a full-time role, okay.
Okay.
But the issue is till now, he is just doing social media posts. He is not doing any UI UX work because the company says once you get your foundations right, then only they will introduce you to clients for UI UX projects. Uh, the other part is he's saying, I know that I am not very good at the moment in design, but I'm skeptical as I'm only doing social media posts and not UX UI related tasks. I feel whenever I want to switch, I won't be able to justify myself of my experience. So what should I do? Should I leave my company and take a break and learn something from the internet, or what? Thank you for the response. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So if you are just doing creatives work, it is not UI, UX, product design, any of it. I would actually suggest you to like, don't, if you have some like financial constraints, don't leave the job. Just take some time off from that job and start learning and building things. So leaving one thing is never a solution. I was also having all my college stuff going on, but I never left anything completely. Even have to you have to put some extra hours at night. Do that, it will pay you off. But learn something good, because your skills have to be polished to get into the field of product design. When you put this portfolio forward with all your creatives and stuff, add creatives, it is not something that a hiring manager for a product design role would be looking for. So this is my advice, I'll repeat it again. If you have any financial constraints, don't take the risk. Don't leave your job, we are in the time of recession. So take some time extra for yourself. Cut down on some of the things, like going out with friends, or maybe anything that you do at weekend. Put all of your effort and might in this, and start learning this, and put a portfolio forward. And I'm going to give more solutions for this, like resources and everything, in the next slide. So yep. Abhay,
Yep,
good.
agreed. No, yep, agreed. I think he would have understood it. I just want to add one more thing. That as she said, if you don't have, if you do have financial constraint, don't leave the job. And for learnings, I will say, like she said, you don't have to do anything fancy. Just take a hypothetical case study wherever. Like she also took some case study. I think she's gonna mention from where she took it, the idea. And like you can take, there's a lot of ideas out there. You can just make a small case study just explaining how you solve the problems. Make great visuals. You don't have to make a website out of it. Just write a medium article, just write two three of them, and that's your portfolio. Just start. As she said, you have to find different approach for interviews. You have to kind of apply to, that's the hustle that you got to do. Because if you are financially constrained, you have to find other ways to kind of get to the place where you want to be. Yep. Prerna, you can go ahead.
Okay. So then let's come to the resources and from where I have learned. I'm going to explain all of these resources in detail. So hear me bit by bit. First, we have Medium. Now, Medium is a very good resource for reading good articles, but the thing here is you should be aware enough to know what is a good resource and what is not. That is very subjective. I'm going to tell you some of these articles I have read and how it can be subjective. Then second is we have a YouTube channel of Design Pilot, and it is a very rich source of learning for beginners. I have learned from this resource only, and I just used to watch one or two videos. So let's say we have typography. I didn't know shit about typography. I don't know anything about fonts. So I just kept watching this video for around like 7 8 times, and then I practiced it. I'll tell you how I practiced it. So that is the process of learning. Just don't watch and leave something. If you don't get it, watch again. Don't get it, watch again, watch again. That is the process. Keep reading things, keep watching things, and keep practicing things. That's how we used to do when like we are not good at maths, right? So that then what is the process? We used to sit for more time. We like tried to solve a problem 2 3 times, then we get the process of it. Then we get ki how to like extract things and how to get the solution out of it. That's the same process we have to follow. Then we have 10K designer. If you have a good amount of money where which you can spend, and good amount of time, and you want to connect with the community, no one can beat this resource. 10K designers is a very good place for you to learn and make connections. And now the community is going stronger and stronger with every cohort. Then we have Growth School. If you have a bit of doubt about design, you want to explore more about design, and you want to then decide, then you can take some of the Growth School courses. And if you are sure about it, then you can go for Anudeep's or Sapta's cohort programs that we have. So both of these resources will take a little bit of your time and money. Time you have to give in everything, but here you have to properly set and give time. Then we have I'll explain you what are the resources. So there are some of the case studies that I follow, and some of the people. So Chetan was my mentor, who mentored me, and I learned a lot from him and from his resources as well. So first, I landed on this Medium profile of his. You can see there are a ton of case studies here. So here we have my favorite one is Splitvisor. So this is the redesign of an app. Then we have a different kind of case study here. So this is redesigning an academy's internal educator dashboard. This is about the work that you have done in the company and how it has impacted the company, and what are the different iterations he has tried, and what didn't worked out, and how he shipped this. So this is all about the work in the company. Now when you are a fresher and you don't have any experience around this, you can go for this 15 plus realistic problem statements. You will get a good suggestion in this article about what problem statement you have to pick according to whatever level you are in your job, or you are a fresher or whatever. So you will get a bunch of problem statements here. Now how I chose my problem statement was, I was thinking about the problems. You can also take this approach. I was just thinking about all the problems that exist in that world. I was thinking about something to get more revenue, more e-commerce, but that is something already at a good level, right? I thought of something that I wanted to create impact in, and I thought of the thing that we are in India, and there is already a lot of poverty, and many people still sleep hungry. So that problem struck my mind, and I discussed with him, and then that's how we move forward with that problem statement. So the things you don't have to do while picking up this is, don't go for something that is already been built and is very good. Like, don't go for redesigning Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. They already have a lot of good designers behind them. And yep. But you can go for something like this. So this is the case study of Akshata Chandra. So currently she is working in Swiggy. She was like part of 10K designers, and she wanted to get into Swiggy. She picked up this case study, and expanding Swiggy's user base and cross promoting verticals with Swiggy Kitchen. So this case study is like an expanded version of Swiggy. So currently, what Swiggy is solving, it is just providing you for the need of food that you need, like something you want to order. But she did something different. So her problem statement was, I think, um, her idea is to help people learn cooking. You can read the whole case study. I've read it a long time ago, so I forgot a lot of things. But yeah, she like took a different thing from Swiggy and made a different feature out of it, and then she created a very beautiful case study out of it. It is one of the well structured and well done case study. You can take inspiration from this. You can read it. You can take an idea about how to structure your work. Okay. Then there is one case study of Ayaneshu Bharadwaj. So this person is from IIT Roorkee, and I really liked his work. So they kind of worked in a design sprint in their college in IIT Roorkee. They had a design club, which will not be there in most of our colleges. Yep. So they built out a feature of WhatsApp, where they are yep, a feature where they can play music together, and they have also like validated why Discord is not fulfilling their idea of listening to music together. So when you are building a feature, also do some competitive analysis, get the reasons why you want to build this, and why the other way around things have not worked, or why the current feature that is in different app is not working. So it's a very beautiful case study with it's a very short one. You can see there is no nonsense stuff in this, on point. But the visuals and the UX and the details, like, I just fall in love with the details of this case study. You can see. So you can also create something like this where you are not a writer, you don't have many things to explain, but you know the reasons for the thing, you know how to present your work visually. That will also work. Then one of the person I follow is Udit Shakya. So all of his work is like phenomenal. I would say his thought process about the things is very different. You can read any of it and you will learn something out of it. So that's how you keep sorting out stuff for yourself. So this is something I look personally in case studies, and these are my people that I love to follow. Your case can be different, and suppose you love research more, you can follow more research oriented people, find them on LinkedIn, find their work. And yes, that is the way that you have to go. If you love more visual focused thing, go for some person who is very good at visuals, would give you a nice insight into tips and tricks into how to improve your visuals. So this thing can be very subjective. This is my set of resources that I have created for myself when I started reading, right? Then from where you have to learn as a beginner, right? You will just understand the thought and putting out your work from the medium, but how can you learn from somewhere? So now this is for someone who would not like to spend money or have financial constraints. Even if you don't have that, and you like just side binge this resource, you'll feel very happy and you got value out of it. So this is the playlist from Design Pilot. my mentor Chetan. And you can see this is very rich. Like I started from this information architecture, typography. Like you will get every kind of thing: how to design dark mode, how to do competitive analysis. You don't need to go anywhere. You will, if you watch this playlist in proper sequence, you will get all of the stuff and all the things about how to improve your craft, and just keep practicing it. There is also one thing you can do. You, if you are a very beginner, very beginner, watch some basic videos. I'll tell you which ones to watch. We have visual hierarchy, principle of visual hierarchy, typography, information and architecture. Then there's all of this in betweens, and you can go for all of this later. UI design is one of the very basic videos. Start with this, and just take screenshot of some of the products, like say Airbnb, and start copying it from icon to icon. After watching these videos, you will get the hang of it and how to do it, and then just practice. Then you will understand ki why these interfaces are looking beautiful and why yours is not working out. That's how I found out. Like I was messing up in spacing and the size of icons and size of the typography, and like I didn't knew where to actually get my typography sorted. So you will get your mistakes when you actually copy some of this well designed apps ka screen. That's how you have to go about it. I would just say, just start watching. This is a very good playlist. Abhay just put the link in the comments for this. And then we have, you can also go through this article where I describe my product design experience at Growth School. It is a good to read article. You can like read it in your spare time. But it is about my experience about how I got this internship and what happened in there and what are my learnings. Okay. Then we have 10K designers. So if you can spend some good amount of money, I would highly recommend this. Join the community, get the learnings. They are one of the great mentors in India that you can find at 10K. And it is going to be a very great experience. And if you improve your skill, don't worry, you will surely get a job around there. So you can also watch Abhinav Chikara's channel, where he talks about different kinds of stuff. Abhay also put the link of 10K designers ka playlist. Then we have Growth School. So this is the organization where I have worked, and I have also seen some of its resources. So I would say go for Anudeep, Sapta, and Charu's program there if you want to build a good portfolio and want to get the understanding of UI and UX, and everything else there. What you can do, we have some workshop if you want to explore, some webinar if you are still confused, and then we have intensive program if you want to, if you think that you want to get very seriously enrolled in design programs, cohorts or courses. This is all about it and about my resources. If someone wants more like a proper resources, I have a Notion file for it. They can personally ping me and I'll give you the link. If there are any other doubts, you guys can ask.
Super awesome, Prerna. Super awesome. Uh, so I have one question about us from Discord.
Hmm.
The person is asking about how I can start for product design, because there are a lot of resources out there, which confuses me. For example, even if I start reading case study on Medium, I'm not sure how to get it. Yeah.
Okay, so I would suggest ki first go and watch Design Pilot's playlist. And medium thing is like you can just, it's not something you have to follow daily. Like whenever you are free, you have free time, if you have interest in it, you will automatically read it. So the point of reading it is, it will things will get started getting in your head, and you will get an idea about how people think, how they present their ideas. So this is very important as a designer. So that's why I suggested Medium. It is not something that you have to do daily, or you have to have a schedule for that, you have to read this much case studies. Read the ones you like, you want to follow. And if you want to learn, I'll repeat again, watch the playlist, Design Pilots playlist. If you want to learn for free, watch this playlist completely, and whatever is taught in that video, try to implement it. When you will start doing it, you will start learning things. You have to dedicate some time for it. There is no other way around for it. There is no shortcut for learning something. You have to follow the process as we used to in school. Yep.
Cool. One more question that I have heard here is about as a product designer, from which thing I should start, UI or UX?
Okay, I already explained the difference between them, and there is no such a great difference between them. I'll just shorten it for you. If you want to understand more about the user experience bit of things, go through the Medium articles. If you want to learn the UI, then learn most of the things about, go and study about the design systems, iOS design system, and then we have material UI design. This is all about UI. UI is basically about the typography, layout, spacing, and colors that you use in your interface. And it will come after you have like sorted out your user experience, you have sorted out your idea of the application and how you are going to present it. Then the UI parts come, how you are going to actually make it visually good. So that is UI. So there is like no different ways about it. It's the same thing, and it will like, so I'll tell you. Suppose I'm building a card which is going to tell you about the referral, that like refer your friend, or now there are n number of ways to present it. But the copy you iterate comes under the UX. The visuals you iterate, card bada kar diya, chota kar diya. So all these things comes under the UI part of it. So it's all this like it's all aligned process. They are not very different from each other. So I would suggest ki first go for the thought process of things, how you are going to structure it. First, like define your user flow, then go for designing more in detail, like the UI part. Okay.
Awesome, Prerna. I think that's it for the question. If you guys have any question, just ping it up. Till then, Prerna, I usually ask everyone who comes on the channel this specific question. Uh, Let it be whatever you presented here, but I usually ask people about what are the three top tips and tricks that you can give to any budding designer out there who is starting design, is in design, a good designer. I don't know, but three tips that is in top of your head.
Are you asking about someone who is already working or someone who is starting?
Can be about anything, but just want three tips that is in top of your head.
Okay. So one main thing is, don't hesitate to take the help of other people, people you think are good, people who are working well in the industry. Just don't think much, ping them and ask for help. If you need help, ask for it. No one is going to come to you and say, please help Lelo. You have to go and ask for it. And when you get that help, when you get the feedback, work on it. No, like no matter at what point, at what level you are in your design journey, I still take feedback from my manager. I take regular feedback. I take feedbacks in one-on-one, for my personal and professional both kinds of work. I ask where I lack. So it's like a lot of things, but in every one-on-one I get to know a different thing and I work on that. So everything is like a process. You are not perfect, no one is perfect, but you will learn something from someone. Like everyone has different qualities, right? And like someone's research would be better, other would be famous for their visuals, someone else would be famous for copywriting, UX writing. So try to sit and learn from them. Okay. And what else? Yep, always have like I have this habit. Uh, Carry a pen and paper with you always, always. Like this is the habit I started while like building my portfolio, and whatever ideas come to my head, even at night, if there is a thought, there are thoughts going on, and if I think I want to sort this out, put it out on paper, not just for design, in your life also. If there's there are a lot of things going on in your head, then put them on paper. You can see there's a whiteboard behind me. So it is for that purpose. Like do whatever you like, but just keep your thoughts in the flow. You will feel good, and you will feel more managed. That's why we do a thing called user flow. So it is not just for the user flow. You can do a number of things with pen and paper, and it can do wonders. um what else? Abhay, you need to suggest anything else?
You have still one more left. I asked for three. Yeah.
Okay. What else? um
Okay.
yeah.
I can chime in. I can chime in. So I will say, one thing that every budding designer kind of don't follow is like people really go into Figma and start designing. I
Yeah.
feel that's important, but that's not the only thing about design, because I know a lot of designers in my circle which did Figma for a great while and said like they are product designers, while they never touched any theory part of design, any theory part of UX, about anything, how to do research, problem definition, problem discovery. A thousand other things are there which they don't touch. So I feel that's something that people kind of miss out on. So I will say you have to balance out both. While visuals are something that people kind of catch eye first, but UX is also important. That how you have solved a particular problem is something that's really important.
Yep, true.
Yep, that's it, Prerna. No more questions. Mr. Singh, I've added Prerna's socials in the description, LinkedIn and Medium. Go check them out. Thanks, Prerna, for coming in. Thanks for kind
Thank
of,
you guys for listening me
yeah.
patiently. Yeah.
Yep, super awesome, guys. See you guys in the next one. Prerna, anything in the last that you want to say to them?
No.
Cool, cool, guys. Thank you so much, guys.
All the best.
See you guys in the
Bye.
next stream. Yep.